Hello everyone, in this video we will study test cross. This test cross is very important from the board's perspective and from the NEET perspective, as the name itself is making you a sense that this cross will be used to test something. Now, what is the purpose of using the test cross? Whenever we want to estimate the genotype of the F1, right? Then we use this cross. In this cross, one thing is sure, that the F1 individual is crossed with the recessive parent. Right? This recessive parent is very important. So the key term in the test cross is the recessive parent and it's crossed with the F1. Now test cross is applied both on the monohybrid and the dihybrid. First we will see its application in the case of monohybrid cross. Of course, these two objectives will be same in the monohybrid and the dihybrid. Suppose we have taken plant height as to be the character. One parent is homozygous dominant and another parent is homozygous recessive. These are the gametes and this is the F1 individual, which is capital T, small t. Of course, its phenotype will be tall. Now see here, this F1 individual will be crossed with the recessive parent and this small t, which is homozygous recessive, is the recessive parent. So Mendel was quite confused that the F1 individual which he obtained, whether it was homozygous dominant or it was heterozygous dominant. So he deduced a cross which was known as test cross. So what was his results? If you make out the Punnett square, then this will be capital T and small t, genes of this individual, capital T and small t, and here only one gamete will be formed, which would be small t. So the individual forms will be capital T small t and small t small t. Means if such parents will be crossed together, 50% of the offsprings will be tall and 50% of the offsprings will be dwarf. Means the phenotypic ratio will be 1:1. So he found out that if the F1 individual is heterozygous, then this ratio has to be obtained. Otherwise, if this individual would have been homozygous dominant, then cross with the recessive parent, 100% of the offsprings would have been with tall phenotype. That means no ratio of 1:1 would have been obtained. So if the F1 individual is heterozygous, then 1:1 ratio will be obtained in the F2 generation. Now let's see how it is applied on the dihybrid cross. Suppose we are taking the same characters as we have taken in the dihybrid cross. They were round and yellow. So this is our homozygous dominant parent and this is our homozygous recessive parents. When gametes will form by law of segregation, this parent will get capital R, capital Y and another parent will get small r, small y. When they both will fuse, it will lead to the formation of capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. So this is our F1 individual. Again, if we want to do the test cross, we have to pollinate it with this individual which is homozygous recessive. So let's see how we will get the results here. Here in this case, the gametes will be capital R, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. And here, because the homozygous condition is there, so out of these two, only one R will come. Out of these Y, only one Y will come. It will be easy for us if we will plot the Punnett square here. So we will get these types of offsprings which I am writing here. So this is small r, small r, capital Y, small y. and then we will get small r, small y, small y. If you write their expression here, it will be round and yellow. This individual will be round and green. This individual will be wrinkled and yellow. And the last individual, of course, it will be wrinkled and it will be green. So here the phenotypic ratio will be 1:1:1:1:1. All the individuals are there with 25% probability. They both are with the same number. So we can give them the ratio of 1:1:1:1:1. So if the F1 individual is going to be heterozygous, we will get this ratio. Test cross is done to know the genotype of the F1 individual. If the F1 individual would have been homozygous dominant, and if we would have done its cross with the recessive parent, then what would have been the case? All the individuals would have been round and yellow. That means such ratio of 1:1:1:1:1 would have not been obtained in this case. So this was under Mendelism concept only, that if you obtain the ratio of 1:1:1:1:1 in the case of F2 generation, that means the F1 was heterozygous. Same we have seen in monohybrid cross as well. Prepare this concept very well for the board examination because many questions are being asked from this topic. Hope it was helpful. Stay tuned. Thank you.